Construction champions, it's your host, Ron Nussbaum, and we're here for another amazing episode of Construction Champions Podcast, where we're burning down the house and we're rebuilding it. Where we're taking a deep dive into yourself, your business, and everything construction. We got another fantastic guest here today. I'm super excited. How is it going today?
Doing great. Yeah, happy to be here and look forward to getting into what makes a construction champion and sharing a bit about myself and what I do.
Why don't we just jump in with that and share with the construction champions out there a little bit about yourself?
Definitely. So, name's Dereck Isaac, founder, owner of the Rapid Results Creators, coaching consulting company, helping construction business owners like yourself who have a construction business and need help with their systems, their processes, getting everything running smoothly. It's my background's in construction and the trades, general contracting. So I know all the difficulties and the hard times that come with trying to put in processes and systematize things and keep track of trades and people and money and financials and clients and all the million and one things that a contractor does every day. So I started on the tools, worked my way up as a foreman, did project management, did site supervising, kind of worn all the different hats through the construction industry, mostly on the residential side, few like commercial projects, and have my own contracting company for 7 or 8 years. And again, started with framing. That's my background, is framing carpentry, framed a whole lot of houses, one after the other, and moved into renovations, general contracting, and as well as real estate investing. Had some good times, some bad times, ups and downs and all arounds. And one of the things that drove me into coaching consulting was just all the difficulties of like trying to figure out how to run a business, coming from the on the tools, side of the construction industry, not it's of actually running a business and doing your marketing and sales and systems and all that. So I saw a big need in the industry with that. Started coaching, just kind of my extra time that I had with certain business from them, especially the guys. Kind of grew my coaching consulting practice, which is what today.
Man, Dereck, it is awesome to have you here today. I always love when we have guys that swung the hammer. I cut my teeth out there in the field. So when we have guys that have done the same thing, been out there as a laborer or foreman, understand how job sites run, and then also understand how businesses run. I love it. It always leads to great conversations. So let's jump right in there. Let's ask the $1 million question. And that is, what makes a construction champion?
Yeah, so my big thing from what I've seen with my businesses and the businesses that I help with our services is what makes a construction champion is really someone who can figure out both the people side of a business and the systems and processes side of the business. So be able to really manage people, have really great relationships, and know how to inspire and manage people. So that's a big part of the business. And a lot of the most successful people that I've found in my life are people that really know how to treat people well and just really understand the importance and gratitude of like having a team, having the right people in your business. And then the other side of a great successful construction champion is someone who understands the ins and outs of a business in and of itself, how it's its own sort of engine of needing different parts, different systems, all the different things that go into it. So they can see at a really high level how everything kind of plays out, but also get into the details of, specifics of like building out a certain process or system within inside of business. And it's a very, large kind of field there. But yeah, I find generally some people are good at one or the other, but getting both of them working together is really, really important. And having the systems and the people, the system should benefit and enable the people to do better, and the people should enable and benefit, and grow the system so that they both have sort of a virtuous cycle of improvement. And that's really the way that a business owner can sort of get their life back is having good people, good systems. And if you don't have those, you're probably overwhelmed and stressed out and probably financial issues. And I've been through all of that and everything that goes along with not having those two pieces in place. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, those are the two cornerstones of stuff. But you did say something in there that I don't know if we really touched on here before, but is very critical. And that's at the very beginning when you said champions understand how to build relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, no matter what you're doing, whether it's hiring, training, partnerships, collaboration, like having an understanding on how to build relationships is a very underutilized skill and talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And as I've, come to mature over the years, you realize the power and value there are in relationships and having a strong network of people around you, and how even somebody you met maybe 5 years ago who at the time maybe you didn't connect and there was no, mutual beneficial reason to really like work together. But down the road, you stayed in touch, and all of a sudden, an opportunity comes up either for them or yourself, where things change for them. And over the years, you really, your network is your net worth, which maybe you've heard before, but it is very true. And having access to a lot of different people where you're in, a good relationship with them, it creates a lot of opportunities and make things a lot better. First and foremost, the most obvious way this is beneficial is through referrals. Of people know you, they trust you, they like you. They're more likely to refer people to you, and it's reciprocal, right? You can refer people to them. So it grows your business that way. But even just in a sense of learning from other people, other business owners, and being able to share what you've learned and incorporating what they've learned. It should be a big part of what any business owner does, is connecting with new people and nurturing relationships with old people, and having some sort of system for like a good CRM, some way to track and monitor and touch base with people, and not forget about people and then things just kind of fall off, but have those touch points and continue to refresh with people, and maybe past clients too. We've all had those clients where things didn't work out, or maybe they went with a different contractor or what have you. Some sort of system to keep in touch and still at least be in the mind space of other people, and let them know that you're still open for business in the future if things don't work out, or if they got something else, or they moved, or whatever, right? So stuff changes, and the more people you can contact and connect with is extremely important. And I think this should be like definitely a weekly thing of connecting with somebody new every week, and making sure you're asking for even referrals in your network. If you're looking for, need someone to help you with your website, or maybe someone for your bookkeeping or accounting, or whatever problem you're struggling with, ask someone in your network to connect you with someone if you don't have someone that you already know.
Well, new and exciting. We all have new and exciting to share. I love how the second part of your answer is systems, and it works right into the first part. You need to have systems to be able to build the relationships so you can build your business.
Yeah. Essentially leverage is the way you grow a business, right? You can leverage your time, you can leverage your money. Systems are a way to get more leverage, to put in less effort but get more results, essentially. So like I mentioned with connecting with people, if you have a good CRM system software that you're using, and you're tracking things, and you have a process for connecting with new people, keeping their information, following up with them, whether that's in a month, 6 months, 1 year, having that in place will give you leverage, so you can connect with more people, you can remember more stuff, you can do things better, and across the board, whether it's project management, accounting, bookkeeping, training systems for your guys. It's a way to essentially replicate yourself. When you can build a training system, now you don't have to train everybody new. Like, yeah, they're still on the job type stuff they're going to have to learn to get experience. But if you can get them to like 80% of the knowledge that they need to know before, they get on site, or while in their first, month, you've leveraged your time, you've leveraged their learning in a big way. So this is a way that systems can really create efficiencies and profitability and consistency inside a business. Yeah, it's not easy to set up those systems necessarily. That's essentially what I help with. But once they're in place, the time and energy and money that you would have put into them will continue to pay you dividends as long as business. And if you want to grow, if you're busy now at whatever revenue, let's say you got $1 million company, you're doing $1 million in revenue. If you want to add 50% to 100% growth in the next year, 3 years, if you don't have good systems in place, however busy you are now, you're going to be twice as busy. And most guys I don't know can they're working 50 hours, 60 hours a week, working 120 hours a week, just isn't feasible and not going to work. So you really need to have, again, good people, good systems to be able to leverage your time, the time of your team, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's systems is something that is way underestimated, especially in the construction industry. And I like, you implement this stuff all the time. I mean, this is what you do. You help guys do this. Like there's such a benefit of getting through that first, I always say 30 days, like just give it 30 days and get in the groove, because once you get that system in place, it becomes such a well-oiled machine. Every time you implement a new system, it might seem chaotic at first because it's uncomfortable. It's unlike you've ever done anything. But like you said, it changes the business, so you can go from $1 million to 2 or to 3 or 5, 10, 12, wherever you want to go. You got to be able to have the systems. Otherwise, it's you doing everything. And that's not a good system.
Yep. No, definitely not. And it's why a lot of business owners, contractors especially, are just, overwhelmed, overworked, and just don't really have the capacity to even start thinking about or building systems. That's why I always suggest, carve out 2 hours a week to start, whether that's on a Friday or Saturday or whenever you can have some consistent time. Turn off your phone, and really keep that appointment with yourself and just focus on building your business, work on your business. Start small. I'm all about starting small. So like, if you've got a process for training someone, what are the 5 big steps? You don't have to have this documented standard operating procedure with, it's 10 pages of notes, all kinds of stuff. Just start all, and then build up from there. But set aside time every week so you're working on the business, because even those small wins, those small, procedures or processes or new software you get implemented, like you said, the first 30 days or so implementing, it's going to be maybe difficult. You're not going to understand it. It's going to be something new. Maybe your guys don't want to use this system or whatever. But really stick with it and focus in on one specific thing. And once you have that running in your business, that should enable you to be more profitable, more efficient, and save you more time. So that's another way to choose, where do you start when you start systematizing your business? Where are you going to get the most bang for your buck? Often it is admin type work. So creating some processes, systems, training for administration, low skilled type tasks, but ones that just eat up time. And then, hire an assistant or somebody, even just part-time, to start taking some of those things off your plate. Or maybe it's implementing some new project management software. So try to figure out, what's going to give you the most bang for your buck. What can you afford right now? And really focus on that. And each new piece that you kind of systematize in your business is going to enable you to be a better business and give you more time on the back end, so you can refocus. And it really is like a snowball effect of, once you start getting the people and the systems in place, your time gets freed up and you're able to have that space to start thinking about, higher level activities, more on the marketing, on the sales, business development side of things instead of the managing day to day of projects and people and finances and whatever else. So it's the benefits are, I mean, it makes so much sense, I guess. But it's when you
how you're putting it makes so much sense. Just to start with just start with the stuff that you can get the most traction to move off of your plate. To me, I mean, that just makes so much sense. Like, I think we try in the construction industry, we try to bite off too much all the time. Like, we're just going to do it all, or I'm going to take the biggest thing and that's what I'm going to move off of my plate first. But with what you're saying is like not to do that, to start with the stuff you can easily move off your plate and let yourself start to free up that time. I love that.
Yeah. And that's essentially the process with clients is we do a kind of a discovery period where we figure out everything, sort of where the business is at right now, where the business wants to go, 1 year, 2 years down the road, and what's like the most biggest priority right now that the company needs to be efficient. Like, what's something either that's really not functioning well or like a detriment to the company's growth, or where is there an opportunity where it's like something easier to implement and get going that'll still save quite a bit of time, so that way we can create more space to tackle some of the bigger stuff as we move along in the company, the stuff that's maybe going to take more time or more investment and things like that. So but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it, and just starting small and putting some time on your calendar and asking for help. So I mean, there's people like me that do it for a living, obviously, and have a company, and we have a process for doing it. So like, by all means, reach out. But even if other contractors, other businesses, maybe you've got a mentor, or maybe if you're like a tradesperson and you see a general contractor that runs a pretty tight shop and does well in their business, by all means, reach out to them, ask them, can I take you out for lunch? What did you do in your business? It seems to be working pretty good. So, everyone's got something to share, and generally most people are really keen to help, other people, especially in the industry and the business. So, I mean, just asking for a bit of help or guidance goes a long way, for sure.
Coming full circle to building those relationships.
Yeah, once again, so definitely key and pivotal. Your business has been built probably thousands of times before by people all across the country, right? Like, I mean, yeah, you've got a unique business, but the business model, the fundamentals, there's people that have done it and done well at it, and made the mistakes and made the success, and you can learn from them and expedite your success through that.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why coaches, mentors, business development that's important. You get to see, especially finding industry specific, that get to see this from multiple angles, just multiple different ways to be able to do it and put together the best practices. It's why, like I said, I love guys like you that swung the hammer, have been out there, and now you help other guys go do it. And I bet you take some guys out to dinner or to lunch, like Dereck was saying, they're probably going to tell you, I got in the right rooms, or I started getting around the right people that understood this better than I could. And then I learned from them. I just took notes and I just learned and then implemented.
Yeah. Or even just connected you with somebody, right? That's another big thing of these relationships is you go to lunch with somebody who's been in business for 20 years. They're going to have a lot of connections, and you're struggling with a problem, they'll be like, hey, go see this person or give that person a call, and they'll help you with this or that or whatever, right? So big value there. And because most people have been helped like that, who have gotten to that success level, they're happy to help other people and keep the the good times rolling, so to say. Yeah. One hand washes the other. So yeah, really, really important. Yeah, like, I mean, I could go on about systems and specific things, but being in the trades, being on the hands-on all the way to owning the business and now coaching other businesses, there is a wide amount of knowledge and expertise that I bring to the table. I think that's one of the parts of being successful in this industry as a coach and consultant, is having that specific trades and construction experience, because it's not an easy, construction's not an easy business to run. There's a lot of like real world stuff that other businesses don't necessarily have. You're dealing with like weather, lots of dependencies on, structural, components and supply lines. You're dealing with not just your business, but a lot of independent contractors as well, which complicates things. Generally labor type jobs, it's a kind of rough and tough, not always easy to find, competent people that show up on time and stuff like that. So there's a lot of variables and a lot of challenges that go along with the industry. So being around people that have been in that industry and kind of walked in those shoes definitely helps a lot, especially with some of the systems I was mentioning. Is a lot of that's got to trickle down to the guys on the front line, the guys that are swinging the hammer, that are doing the work. And if they're not interested and they're not following, and it's not set up to benefit them, it won't be effective. And I found that out the hard way. I remember making a great, system for my guys who were on site. We were doing some renovations at the time, and I wanted to know what the guys were doing essentially, so I could check. I had estimated the job, all your different things that go along with the job, and I wanted to see how many hours they're spending on the specific different tasks throughout the week. So created this great spreadsheet that they were going to use and keep track of everything. And at that time, it was a paper that I had on site, because this was, I don't know, 20 years ago or so. Maybe not quite that long, but before the iPhone and the apps and everything kind of keeps track of things so nicely now. But anyway, so put that on site, came back a week or two later to take a look at it. I mean, I've been to site since then, but I was kind of like handed that off to my foreman. And I take a look at the paper, and it's, got pencil and pen and marks and this and that, and a bunch of squiggly lines, and essentially was not useful whatsoever because it was not consistent. And but it's need a better job of keeping things maybe a little more simple, lower my expectations, and them better on the importance of it, and having kind of a daily check to make sure that it was done, at least for that first 30 days or 60 days or whatever. Because just telling someone something and expecting them to do it generally doesn't always happen. You have to kind of be checking in and have some sort of feedback system to make sure that it is being used effectively. And that's the part with systems, and why sometimes guys gets discouraged because they've tried something and it hasn't worked, or the guys don't buy in, or maybe they don't feel confident enough as a leader to be implementing certain systems, or they feel too corporate or whatever. There's a million and one reasons, but essentially you will fail and things won't work out. You'll think it, in your head everything sounds and is going to work awesome, and then when it comes to the actual site and what happens in the day-to-day, it falls apart or whatever. So that's just one thing that didn't work. It doesn't mean you got to scrap the whole system or start from scratch. You just have to kind of figure out what the issue is and keep improving and working it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So Dereck, I mean, it's been fantastic having you on here today. For all the construction champions out there, how do they get a hold of you? Where do they connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, easiest place to kind of have one location is my website. So rapidresultcreators.com. I'm sure we'll probably put a link in the description or comment somewhere. But yeah, check out a website. If you Google Rapid Result Creators, should come up. So that's the best place to just kind of find out more about the company, and there's resources and all kinds of stuff on the website. Or visit Rapid Result Creators on YouTube. So we've got a YouTube channel, and that's where I put out a lot of content, a lot of free stuff of how to get systems in place, how to think about systems, how to improve different parts of your business, getting a lot more into the nuts and bolts of like actually how to do it and what you should be looking for. Systems is a very vague and large topic, so I can't get into everything at one time. But on my YouTube channel, you can find a lot more help and guidance there for getting these systems into your business.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks so much, Ron. Pleasure being here.
All right, construction champions, another amazing episode where we dove into building relationships and then the systems that are not just involved in your business, but also in building those relationships. So don't ever forget that as we build anything, there's going to be systems that we implement, we go to. And when Dereck said to just start somewhere and just start, like, just take that small thing off your table, figure it out, process it, put a system in place for it, hire somebody maybe part-time to do it. I mean, I think that should resonate with a lot of guys out there, because I think we really do try to chunk too much a lot of times, where we're just like, we're going to write the 100-page SOPs in the next 30 days. And I'm going to have a system for everything. And we end up having a system for nothing. So, like I always say, reach out to guys like Dereck. Get in touch with them. Learn how to do this. Learn from people that have done it and do it at a high level. So, construction champions, until next time, be the champion you were meant to be. Hey, construction champions, it's your host, Ron Nussbaum here, and I want to talk to you about how you can automate all of your marketing. We've had so many people on here talk about getting the systems in place. Well, we have partnered with Build 12 and Construction Champions podcast. Les O'Hara, the founder, what really excites me is his 30 years in the industry. And now he's built a system to be able to nurture your leads and continue to utilize that. I personally use the system myself. Build 12 is absolutely amazing. There's a lot of value in there, and it's a way to start getting away from Angie's List and all of that kind of stuff and start actually creating your own leads every day and have a system for them. So go on our website, check out the show notes, go check out Build 12 and what it can do for the front end of your business today. It's absolutely amazing. I highly recommend going and meeting with Les and his son, Devin, and talking to him about what they built for their own business, so the rest of the industry can take benefit from that. Here on Construction Champions, we're all about helping each other out. And what is better than contractors helping contractors? I say nothing. So let's go take this to the next level. Go check out Build 12. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Les or his son, Devin. We're here to help. We want to continue to grow the industry.